it's Debbie with the Pickin Coop Farmstead, and it's Tuesday morning. It's beautiful and sunny outside, but it's only like 31 degrees. So I'm in my kitchen. I'm overdue on potting up some of my veggie starts. So I've just washed a whole bunch of my used solo cups. I just buy the off-brand, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, these guys are on their, well, counting the fall, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be their 7th planting season, so that's pretty darn good. So I could be wrong. I know it's at least 3. So this is the 3rd year I've used this color. I usually end up getting the red ones now because they're thinner and you can put more in your watering tray. So the first thing I'm going to grab, let's see, what do I have here that is desperate to get out? I'm going to do this beautiful red cabbage, and there's a little tiny baby one in there, and a teenage, and a big one. So we're gonna need to do that one, and then I guess we'll just grab them and go as we need to. And I've raised the lights on the bottom 2 shelves over here of my seedlings shelf, as you can see. So there's plenty of room for those to grow up. And now we're gonna get to it. And this is the same old, same old. So first of all, we've got your name tag, red cabbage. So I've got 3 cabbages I need to pot up, one of which I have a name tag for already. So I need 2. So red cabbage. You can identify these however you want. I try to abbreviate. As long as you know what they are, that's all that matters, correct? Unless you're selling your plants. You probably want to write that out. You want to write the variety, all of that. So I'm going to say out of 18 cups, I did have one that cracked around the edges. And once they start fracturing there, I just toss them. But I'm telling you what, I mean, obviously they're not as good as some of those more expensive ones like Bootstrap Farmers and those guys. One of these days I am going to start investing in those, and every year just buy a few, and then that way you'll have them. All right, so here we go. We've got our little dudes over here. Let's move you back this way a little bit. Can't talk this morning. All right, and trying to get you centered. There we go. I don't have a shorter tripod, so it's kind of hard to at least get these in the shot where you can see them. It only goes so short and only so tall. Okay, so we have our 3 red cabbages. Gently tease them apart. I'm going to push this down in here. I'm going to use this cup, and I'm going to fill it up with dirt. I know this is an old hat to a lot of you, but some of you are first-time gardeners, and some of you haven't tried growing anything yet. And even if you live in an apartment or somewhere where you can't dig in the yard because you're renting or what have you, just go buy some those little grow bags, and you can use 5-gallon buckets, drill some holes in the bottom. There's so many things you can grow, and you can grow a salsa garden out on a patio. When my daughter was getting ready to have my granddaughter, this is a great story. She lived in a 3-story apartment in Portland. And so she was going to be all alone, so I moved up there with her to help her with the baby. And we were so excited. I moved up there, I want to say it was right before my birthday, so it was in September. And she had not a big patio, but it was a south-facing patio, which is always a good thing. And so what we did is what did we use? We used milk cartons, or I don't know what we did. I didn't grow anything from seed, I don't think. I think I bought plants at the farmer's market. I know we had tomatoes and a few other things. I forget what we used for, maybe we used tubs somewhere long time ago. I've got pictures of it. I'll have to dig them out. And we had a nice little salsa garden. All you really need is a pepper plant or two and a tomato plant or two. I know we did tomatoes, peppers. I can't think of what the other things were. Darn it. I'll think of it. But I think maybe we grew some beans, cucumbers. I can't remember. But it was like, and it worked. So never underestimate what you have and what you don't have. Because you can always, like Jessica Sowers of Roots and Refuge says, plants and seeds want to grow. So as long as you give them lighting, drainage, and water, they're going to grow. There we go. All right, so all 3 red cabbages, boom, potted up. So next, we're going to move on to, let's see what else I have here. Let's see, those are all potted up. Those are potted up. Oh, here's our golden cabbage. Look at the roots coming out of there. They're saying, please help us. All right, so this is what you're going to do, though. You're just going to keep going on. There's 1, 2, 3. Now, do you see how all these have their true leaves? These are the true leaves. These little leaves right here, they're kind of a heart-shaped right there. Those are their sprouting leaves. So once they get their true leaves, you can actually pot them up. So I'm going to need 2 of these, and then I'm going to need 2 name tags. And this is the golden cabbage. Bada bing, bada boom. Last year was the first year that I have grown cabbage, and I actually got little cabbage heads. I tried to make sauerkraut with it, and I don't know what I did, but I kind of ruined it, but that's okay. This is another year. I'm going to try it again. I think before all the cabbage worms and what do you call those, the aphids got to my stuff, I did get, I think I got 3 heads. I used one, I let one be my sacrificial plant. So I was hoping all the aphids would stay on there, but it did not. All right, we're gonna gently tease these apart. Put them in a cup. Add some soil. There we go, just kind of press them down in there. Stick in our name tag, bada bing, bada boom. So who says you can't play out in the dirt when it's too cold outside? Not me. There's so much about this that's so exciting to me, and I love every stinking bit of it. The only thing I'm not too excited about is when it gets super, super hot and I have to go out and weed the garden. That's not my favorite thing to do, but I love watering. I love planting seeds, planting plants, harvesting produce. And I think the most gratifying thing about it all is feeding your family with it. So I'm saying that is awesome. Okay, so golden cabbage number 2. So I've got 3 reds and 3 greens. I think that's about all the seeds that I planted. I didn't want to go too crazy because unless I'm in a succession sow, and I have found with this time of year, it takes us forever for our last frost date to get here. But our summers get super, super hot. So if you didn't know this already, these guys do not like it hot. They will bolt, which means they will go to seed, which is not a bad thing if you want to save the seeds, which I think I'm going to this year. I know I'm definitely focusing on tomatoes this year, especially with the varieties that are new to me. I'm excited. And then the mortgage lifters, definitely. Those were awesome. All right, 3 cabbages, boom, just like that. At least with my new phone, I finally got my new phone, and it is, I gotta move my plants over here. Got a lot more memory on it, so they're not gonna run out of room. Uh-oh, these guys are saying I need out. I wanna say this is a tomatillo, I'm not sure. Yes, purple tomatillo. There's 3 in there. Look at these guys. They're like, we need more room, Mom. So there's 3. See, a lot of things I planted 3. So what that is telling me, my germination rate is spot on. These guys are M.I. Gardner, I know for sure. The cabbage, maybe the red cabbage. I'm not really sure. They could be M.I. Gardner. I'm not exactly positive on that one. I don't ever write that on my little plant identification stakes because you just don't have a whole lot of room. I guess I could. And I've got so many seeds now, I don't know who's who and what's what. So, I don't know. All right, so we need 2 plant stakes. These are the purple. I'm growing the regular green. Oh no, am I growing the green ones? I'm not sure. I think I'm growing the green ones too. I know I'm growing purple, and then I'm also growing the pineapple tomatillo, which is a ground cherry. They're delicious. So I finally got some seeds this year. Fern of Hummingbird's Garden, Farms, excuse me. She was a sweet lady and brought me a bunch of plants, and I tried to save the seeds, and I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm going to try it again this year. God willing, get mine grow. I had to replant them, and I noticed there's a tiny little baby one that just came up in my second planting. So I know that hopefully I'll get at least one. I'm excited about that. All right, purple tomatillo. All right, you guys probably don't want me to plant up all these things, but I am going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll be back. Okay, something I did want to tell you is on the tomatillos, I put them all the way to the bottom of the cup and then fill the dirt up around them. I do that with my tomatoes as well. Let's see, anything else I need to pot up? Oh, my chair is crinkety. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness, my peppers are getting ready. Artichokes, broccolis. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3. These are pak choi. Look at those guys. They're so happy and healthy, and yeah, this is just so much fun. And let's see. Then I have the solstice broccoli, which I grew last year. Very, very prolific. And I am still getting broccoli. I haven't went out there to look. We had a big snowstorm, a huge hailstorm yesterday, but they've been out there since late summer, so they are actually very acclimated. Now this is my snowball. There's actually 3 in there. One looks kind of little. We'll see how that works out. Snowball cauliflower. Cauliflower is one of the things that I have not been able to get it to flower. I don't know why. My broccoli last year, like I said, was the first year. Then I have artichokes. This is my first time ever growing these. These are gonna go in one of my blue mineral buckets when they get big enough and it gets warm enough to plant outside. I never planted them before because I did not, excuse me, I did not think that they would survive the cold up here. But apparently, unless I'm mistaken, apparently they will die back and then they will come back. So I'm excited. Even if I get some little baby ones, that'll make me happy. I'm not a big fan of artichokes, but the hubby loves them. So I'm thinking this was a good investment. And you know, if for nothing else, if you let them go to flower, they're absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and plant these up, and then we'll move on to the next. Okay, I named them Artie and Andrew, the artichokes. So these guys are ready to be happy and growing up in their own little spaces here. There we go. So next we're going to move on to the snowball cauliflower, and there's 1, 2, actually 3 in there. So we're going to hope that the little one makes it. So I'll be back after I plant these. All right, so we have all 3 of our snowball cauliflowers repotted. So I am out of dirt, so I need to go out and get some more dirt, and we'll be back. Okay, I'm trying a new potting soil. I got it at the grocery store in Reading there, where I got my trays and stuff, and it's called Royal Gold King's Mix, and it's they put it together in Humboldt County apparently, and I'm gonna try it. I did look on there, but I didn't look very hard to see if it's organic or not. That's one thing I did not pay attention to. But it looks, it's light, it smells delicious. Yes, only a gardener would love the smell of dirt. All right, so we're gonna pot up our pak choys. I guess I should document this. The pak choys and the solstice broccolis are gonna be potted up with this royal gold. So let's hope it's a good soil. They sell it by the pallets there. So we're gonna see how it does. All right, little Mr. Pak Choys. I got 2 of these little guys. Actually 3. I think there's a baby in there. I forgot. There's a baby. A little baby. Okay, so I'm trying to take the 2 big ones. The baby should be okay because it's got its true leaves. Gently put him in here. And I'm going to get a scoop of this royal gold. And you know, this was a lot more economical than my, I think it's Black Magic or something that I use. Sure Grow makes it. Now that one is definitely organic. I'll have to read on this package. And then at least we'll try it out. It makes me kind of nervous using something new. But these guys were so sweet and so knowledgeable at that place. I was really, really impressed. So I ran out of room. Gotta grab another one of these trays. This is where I got the trays, and they're super durable. I'm super excited about that. All right, now on to the bigger ones. Whoops, careful little fellas. I'm getting a little too overzealous there. Oh, they're gonna be so much happier. Now these guys are cruciferous. The broccolis, the pak choi, and the cauliflower, so they can go out before your last frost. I'll have to condition them first, which you set them out. Like today is not that warm, but once it gets up there, and start out with a couple of hours and let them acclimate every day. I can't put them out at night just because, like, as you see, it was 29. I woke up at 5:30 this morning and it was 29 degrees. And that would have zapped these little guys for sure. It has to be a gradual thing, and that's called hardening off your plants. All right, the pak choys are done. There we go. With our new soil, we'll just see how that works out. Okay, so the last thing I have here is my solstice broccoli, and there is there a baby one in there? Oh, there is. That's one tiny true leaf. Well, let's hope for the best. We'll make a couple name tags. It's super small. All right, this is solstice broccoli. I was checking to see if my camera was on. Sometimes I do that. I think it's on and I start talking, or the exact opposite. I don't think it's on and I'm not saying anything, so. All right. All right, I'm gonna get these guys planted up and we'll be back. All right, I did want to show you, look how tiny this little guy is. Whether he makes it or not is another story. Okay, so I have all of these guys. Let me show you what we ended up with. I'll turn you over here. There we go. All of these guys are potted up. So there's that, and then that goes all the way right back to there. So that's quite a few plants. So now where these are going to go from here, hold on a minute, let me get up. They are going to go, let's take you over to here, right in the center of the screen there. These are all going to go down in here. There's water already in there, and you want to bottom water these guys. That's what I do. And then I'm going to mist them very heavily from the top. Turn this around. There we go. See what I like about excuse me, my other little guys, they're the red ones. They're very narrow and you can put a lot more plants in your trays, which is nice. So we're just putting all of these guys in here that will fit. And I only have one grow light in the middle, but I keep rotating my plants. I ran out of grow lights, but that's okay. And then I'm going to move all these guys over to here. This is my last actual tray. And what we'll have to do, excuse me, is I have other things that I have used for watering trays. You learn to improvise. Like this guy right here is a Rubbermaid tub I got for free. That's always good. And then every year, God willing, I'm going to go back to that grow store and I'm going to buy, what did I end up buying? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to buy 6 every single time. Okay, so these, now look at this. Even with these plants in here, it's half full. It doesn't really buckle, which I'm pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to move this over. And this is going to go in the middle. Now this plant is pretty tall. I don't know if you can see. This guy's really tall. I'm going to move him to the outer edge just because I don't want him to be up to that light. Okay. Now this is going to get full of water, so I'm going to fill up my water jug. I'll be right back. Okay, and I like to keep about ½ inch or so of water in there. I'm going to add a little more to this one just because these newly potted up plants, the soil is drier, so it's going to take up a lot more water. There we go. Now I want to kind of situate these where I can nestle more plants in. And you want to try to keep them sitting as flat as possible to the bottom of this tray, just because that way you're making sure there's multiple holes on the bottom of each one of these, but you want to make sure that they are all in the water. This one, there we go. See how they kind of tilt a little bit? But that's okay. You want to try to maximize your space. I'm already wanting to buy another one of these shelves. The mister just looks at me like, are you crazy? So there we go. I don't think I can get any more pots in there unless they're really skinny ones. I do have a couple of those clear cheapy skinny ones, and I ran out of these last year, the solo cups, and that actually worked quite well. All right, so while I'm here, I'm going to fill this up again and make sure the rest of my trays are watering. All right, so this guy definitely needs some. These tomatoes are going to need to be potted up. So I like to keep 1/4 inch or so of water in there. These tomatoes, I'm going to move kind of to the middle of this tray because I don't want them touching the light, because the light, these lights aren't super hot, but they can burn them. And I wanted to show you this. Hopefully you can see it. There is a baby tomatillo in there. I'm like, this was my second planting on the tomatillos. All right, so this guy, you can see through this one, so you know there's no water in there. Add some more to him. Everybody's needing more water today. All right, I'm going to finish this up and we'll be back. All right, all my watering trays have at least 1/4 inch of water in them. I do want to show you something because I have one more shelf on the very, very bottom down there. There's not a whole lot of room down there, but I don't have any more lights. So my plan is, I've utilized the top of this up here for my seal-a-meal thing. What do you call those? I forget. Anyways, and then my canner. I put my canner inside of here. just to keep it nice and clean because it's nice and ready. But I can put it on the back porch. But I have plenty of room up here, and I would have to put some hooks in my ceiling, but I can put my clamp lights. These guys are amazing. I bought these bulbs when I was refurbishing furniture, and I bought the all natural light. It mimics the sunlight. And that's all I had for a long time when I was starting my plants, and they work great. But I figured I can put some hooks up in my ceiling up here, and I have like a bar. It's a curtain rod, and I suspend it on the hooks, and then I keep it on a cord. That way it can raise up and down as the plants grow up, and it worked amazing. I used it on my shelf last year, or my kitchen counter, and you can go back and look at some of my stuff and it'll show that. But anyways, I have a few more things I'm probably going to try to pot up. I've got some Chinese cabbage that's dying to get in its own space, and I will shortly have to do my tomatoes because they're really starting to grow up there. The nice thing about having the varying levels of the lights is I can put like all the things I just potted up down where they can grow up and not touch the light so far. After they go past that, I think I'm going to end up having to put them on my kitchen counters again. But by that time, they'll have the sunlight. We're getting more sunlight every day. I'll just have to move my house plants, but they can sit out there and get the natural light, and I'll just keep turning them and just hope for the best. All right, well, I hope the sun is shining where you are. I hope you're happy, healthy, and safe. Thank you so much for watching my channel, and I hope you learned something. If not, if you have some input of things that I did not cover, please put that in the comments so others can learn too. And I hope you have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.